Welcome to the OnlyFans Secrets Marketing Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help both new and established OnlyFans creators learn the basics of online branding, marketing, and promotion to help you make more money with your content and maximize your time online. My name is Richard Lewis, and I have over 20 years of internet marketing experience. So let's get started with today's topic. And that topic is OnlyFans squashes share for share abuse. Okay, so in a recent policy update, OnlyFans has limited the number of creator links that can be shared on each page in a 24-hour period. In this episode, we'll discuss the practice of share for share and the policy changes. Right, so what is a share for share? It is the practice of trading links on creators' pages one for another, thus gaining exposure to each other's audience. A special banner appears when you create a link inside of an OnlyFans post, and it includes, obviously, what you write as well. So people will be able to see on your page kind of a mini advertisement for another creator's page. And some free pages are exclusively set up for sharing links. And in previous podcasts, I've talked about how I didn't feel that you should include any links or any distraction to other creators on your OnlyFans page, especially the free page that you create for promotion. It should be about you. There can be a rare instance where another creator is able to give you a ton of exposure, and then it would make sense to do a share for share. But in most cases, it's usually not worth it. So what is the new policy change? Okay, so you can now only post 3 total promotional links in a 24-hour period. So this also includes DMs, or what is known as mass DMs. So a mass DM would be where you're sending out to a very large audience the same message. And that's known as a mass DM. So putting the links in there count, the same as if you were to post on your OnlyFans page. So that's a pretty big change. And so why did this happen, and who does it affect? Now, it happened because creators were spamming pages with promotional links. Now, this primarily affects large creators with a big following who were basically selling influence. So, for many VIP creators who had both a VIP page and a free page, or originally they just had a VIP page, and then they realized that they could possibly market themselves and make a little extra money by selling promotion, on their free page that would get even more possible subscribers, were selling that kind of influence, and they were doing it en masse. So it happened because subscribers complained. They don't want to see that when they're going on to an OnlyFans page. So it happened because enough people were doing more than 3 promotional links in a 24-hour period, causing a lot of spam inside the system. And the intent was never for that. So OnlyFans included your ability to put a link, in your posts so that you could show other creators, but the intent was never for it to be so massively done as to cause what was on those pages to look like a massive amount of spam. it reminds me of link harvesting from search marketing, or many other techniques where people are trying to push a lot of traffic over to other pages without the intention of people subscribe. Like, the intent of someone subscribing to a free OnlyFans page is not to be promoted to. The assumption is that they're subscribing to that free page because they're going to get content from that creator they subscribe to, not an endless amount of promotional links. All right, so is this a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, so it's a good thing because subscribers were getting annoyed with this, and subscribers are the lifeblood of OnlyFans. So without subscribers, there's not going to be a lot of other people, or anyone that's going to be paying creators. So if subscribers are seeing this and it's turning them off from OnlyFans itself or from creators' pages, that's a huge problem. And obviously for OnlyFans themselves, they were seeing it as a negative because people were coming in. They probably were subscribing to free pages. And it's nice of OnlyFans to allow creators to have multiple pages. That's a huge benefit. So the fact that some people were abusing those powers of having those additional pages, was a problem. So they wanted to go ahead and crack down on that. It's interesting because 3 promotions, it seems like a lot. So for a lot of people, they're like, wow, could anyone possibly do more than 3 promotions? But if you're utilizing a page specifically for that, it basically is enough of a clamp down that people are not going to be able to, do these kind of promotion farm. Let's call it a promotion farm page, or it's just, one promotional link after another. Okay, so secondly, it's a good thing because, promos on OnlyFans free pages will likely disappear. So, promo only kind of pages are likely to just disappear because, again, there's no incentive. And, the incentive for most things that are technically spam is money. What's nice is that if money disappears, and I come from a background of search marketing, and search marketing, this would happen all the time. Someone would figure out a new way to create a link or a link on a page that would manipulate Google to try to get a search ranking up higher. And usually the incentive for the person creating that page was money. So once Google came and did what is called a Google slap, they would slap down on those types of pages. Well, those pages would then disappear because there was no longer a monetary incentive. So people didn't have to necessarily remove their links from pages that were bad, because those pages themselves would just disappear because no one was going to pay the hosting fees anymore. No one was going to maintain those pages. So this is very similar for OnlyFans pages, because if someone is just basically creating a promotional farm page, it will disappear because there's no longer a monetary incentive for it. Okay, so it's a good thing because promotion will be more scarce and thus more valuable. So if you think about it, if people are limited to 3 promotional links in a 24-hour period, even if someone now has a page like that and they decide to hold on and continue to do promotion, they'll likely have to charge more for it, which is, is what it is. But now only 3 people will have access to that vast amount of subscribers. So if someone does hold on and they do find a way to, monetarily, maintain that page, you'll basically have a better opportunity of getting in front of people. Because if they were used to be running 30 of them a day and now they can only do 3, a lot more opportunity. And, with a lot of social media, it's hard to get through the noise. So if you are approached by someone and they want to do a share for share, and you now know that they can only really do this with a couple of people, then it becomes more valuable. Then you might be willing to actually reach out and do a share for share, because each of you know that you can't really just do it in a spammy way. You can now do it in an effective way. So share for share as a concept can become more effective because it no longer will be just spam. Okay, so how about bad? Is it a bad thing? It is a bad thing because, large creators will not have the reason, to share and promote small creators. So you could look at it as a bad thing, because usually the only reason that a large creator would promote someone who has very few followers or very few subscribers is because they're doing it in such mass, or they're being paid for it, and thus there's some incentive there. By taking away the incentive, there's not a lot of reason for small creators to get that kind of push from large creators that are on OnlyFans. So it would be harder for a small creator to break through to an audience for larger creators. And then it's a bad thing for those who might have a decent reason for a mass drop or linking. So some like creators who band together for a cause or promotion. So at this point, if you were getting together with a large group, perhaps like your retweet group or other, similar creators that are in a niche, and you were all going to do one incentive, and you're say, okay, well, we're all going to go on sale, or we're all going to, include this, and we need to reach out to a massive amount of people, it now would be impossible to do. If there's more than 3 creators. There are instances where that would be valuable, and it wouldn't be the intention of spam, because you're trying to reach out with a message and you're trying to show the link to all the creators who are involved in that cause or that promotion. And at this point, that would be impossible. So it takes away the ability for creators who are trying to be legitimate and not spam, but need to reach a large audience with their links to be able to do that. And, I guess lastly, it's a good thing because it makes OnlyFans less spammy. So, anything that gets an image of being filled with spam or advertisements or promotion that is out of control, people will start to lose interest in it because they can't get through the clutter. So if they open up their OnlyFans page and it's all just promotion, top of promotion, that's not what they're there for. So they're going to begin to use OnlyFans less and less, and that's going to cause people to have less subscribers, less tips, less money, and it could have a domino effect. So it's a good thing that OnlyFans went ahead and clamped down on this. As I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I definitely had mentioned in other episodes that I didn't feel any of it was a good idea, because that's not why someone is subscribing to your OnlyFans page, to see a bunch of other creators, as well as the fact that it's just going to take attention away from your page. And then they just start on, a trail, and now they've gone to, this other person's page who has more promotions, and they just keep clicking, and they eventually might have just forgotten where they started, that they were looking at your page at all. And that's terrible from a marketing standpoint. You definitely don't want you don't ever want anyone leaving your page. You're trying to sell them something. You don't want them moving along to the next, place. That's a disaster for marketing. Okay, so what can creators do in regard to this policy? All right, so I would say that creators